Morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? It's 1:43 in the morning for Monday, the 29th of May, 2023, Pacific Standard Time. And this be the Weaver Agency of Rosemont, California. Yeah, we're not alive. We're not awake yet. Short nap and sleep schedule's already screwed up right now as it is. It's quiet, thank God. A few hours ago, kids were running around yelling their heads off like crazy, and teenagers following up. One thing after another in apartment complex life when you're living in it. But then again, I guess it's paradise compared to everything else these days. It's getting harder and harder to just deal with everyday life. You hear it, see it, experience some of it. Drives me crazy. Uh, I suppose it's going to be a letter to generally no one. Just I'm just waking up and it's still trying to feel why I'm still being alert and awake. Tomorrow's Tuesday, the rest of the week. But today's the somber day, isn't it? This is the day we're supposed to be somber for all those who fought and died, made the ultimate sacrifices one way or another. Some of us actually had relatives that never made it back. Some of us actually had relatives who actually made it back nearly every war, nearly every conflict that we actually had. I never knew about my family history, World War One, but in World War Two, I was I had about two or three uncles, different sections, different units, and they came back. They came back alive. Had stories to tell their folks. One of them lost a leg, had a wooden leg. As a kid, when you're meeting an uncle for a first time, sometimes you got to be a little bit apprehensive about him. But then you find out that he likes kids. At least you hope so, anyway. And misunderstood misunderstandings happen, especially when you're a kid doing kid things that make the adults go insane with anger. The uncle I had was a brother to my mother. Ma still liked the guy, but because of certain things that I did, that being young, I guess punishment. My mother was corporal punishment. You do something wrong, you may apologize for it, but you're still going to get your butt whopped. My brother learned that the hard way. His case was theoretically special, but me, I'm just a kid with a bad heart. I already had heart surgery, so everything else had to be taken easy on me. But, I was still a kid who does dumb things. For instance, you do not take a rifle round and use it as a marker on furniture. The thing of it is, I was notorious for getting into people's drawers. I opened up their drawers out of cabinets. And I like to find out what the hell's in there. Wow, look at this stuff. Look at this stuff. What the hell is that? Oh, that looks a good. That looks neat. Ooh, what is this thing? A marker? A big ass marker here. I can just get my hands right around the damn thing and just. My mother caught me on that one. I, Downstairs, like, where's Johnny? Where's Johnny? Where's Johnny? They knew automatically I was going to get into trouble because I got in trouble so many times at home. Mama's dressers, David's dressers. You never take Johnny to any other place. He'll get into things. I was a curious kid. I was a curious brat. I was a pure brat, apparently. But because I had heart surgery and then I died, I mean, people knew the story about it, but it's how the adults were dealing with me and my own mental problems. I'm a kid. What was it, about 5, 6? We had a station wagon, and we piled up in the station wagon before we trashed the damn thing in 76, so it had to be 73 or 72. Yeah, because living in the house from 76, I was about 3 years in that one, so 73. So it had to be 72 or 71, somewhere in that time zone. That let's see, Grandma, Ma, David, and I, and our dogs piled into our large ass station wagon, complete with all the luggage on top and stored. And we went off. Went off on the great big adventure to Wyoming. Rock Springs, to be precise. The house was right by a former mining area. So yeah, they had mines all over in the area. I never could quite figure the hell out on the Google Maps where the hell it was. But all I remember was seeing this big ass, huge mountain. That was a backdrop to their house. And it was snowing. We had to drive carefully. I slept through going through Salt Lake. I don't remember Salt Lake City. When we got into Wyoming, that's when I was waking up for this thing. I guess they were already told ahead of time that we were coming because they had to get things ready because the family was coming over. The matriarch was coming. Didn't warn them about me. So I'm handling a rifle around. My uncle and his kids, well, they were into hunting. And during that time, they really didn't understand how to deal with somebody who hadn't been around guns. My brother had been around guns when he'd be sent summer over to his father's place out in Texas, a ranch where an uncle, actually where the grandparents would have it. He learned how to shoot guns. He learned how to do a little ranching. He learned how to toughen up a bit. And here I am, not knowing what the hell to do. I'm fiddling around with a damn round in my hand. I'm marking up something over here. Mom comes in there. John Weaver, what the hell do you think you're doing? It's like, oh shit. Oh shit. As my brother would say several times in his lifetime when he was talking about his own issues with mama. Bye, butt. Oh, God. Right in the bathroom, and I'm screaming up a storm. I'm blubbering. I'm apologizing. I'm saying I'm sorry. I won't happen again. I didn't get the message. It had to be nearly. You know, Ma was pissed. Ma was pissed at the time, a long time ago. They tried to stop corporal punishment in schools. You know, stop hitting your kids. They had those laws being passed decades later. That was abuse. It was still considered child abuse. But back then, it was the only way a parent could get a kid's attention is beat the crap out of them, even if it had to be in a damn store. Not taking down the butt, but just whopping them upside the head. I couldn't have had sticky fingers. But after that, I mean, Ma had to hug me, calm me down, and that's when it really, really happened. Before we got into the marking situation over there, everything was cool. We were going to be spending Thanksgiving meal with them. And I suppose hours before the situation happened, we had, well, let's see, what did we have? A field trip to the mines. And from a vantage point, we had stopped and gotten outside. I'm looking down, and I'm looking at Rock Springs. Small town, looked like. And down below, there's a house. I could see my uncle's house. Perfect place to hide Hot Wheels. Nobody could trust me at all when I was a kid. Oh, no, no, no. You wouldn't trust Johnny for anything at this point. No way in hell. David brought his Hot Wheels to play with. Johnny lost his Hot Wheels, and my brother never let me live it down. I was a menace. You thought it was Dennis the Menace? I thought my brother was Dennis the Menace. Hell, just let me around stuff. Nope. As a kid, no, 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 no. I did not know what boundaries were. It could hit my butt up so many damn times, but I'm still not going to learn the boundaries. I'm still going to get into things as a kid. Hell, I was hard enough to watch over, especially when I'm shopping with Mama and we're at the local market basket at home before this incident took place. And there's a toy, and there went a toy right into the pocket. Oh my God. Oh boy. My butt. Manager almost threatened to call the cops on her, I guess. And at times I'd gotten so damn bratty with my mother that I would yell and scream at her. I want, I want, I want, I want, I want, I want, I want. Didn't matter what the hell it was. I wanted it. I was going to get it. Give it to me. Now. I don't know who the hell you are. Anybody want to buy this kid? For some people, it may consider it as a damn joke. But if it happens these days, are you kidding me? Law enforcement will be jumping all over people left and right on this damn shit. You can't prosecute Ma at this point. You can't prosecute my brother. They're long gone. So is Market Basket. And so is everybody else. So they're just stories. I learned a long time ago to keep my sticky fingers to myself. I had to. Anyway, we were supposed to be having Thanksgiving dinner up in Rock Springs with the family. It got short. I was going to be watching the Planet of the Apes, damn it. They just put it on ABC. And the local stations out there was going to be running the Planet of the Apes, Charlton Heston. Get your damn dirty paws off. No, get your damn paws off of me, you damn dirty apes, or something like that. I mean, I was going to hear that damn thing. I was going to see this movie. It's not until generations, actually until decades later, I was actually seeing it on cable for the first time. And then they run the whole entire series up 1 through 5. It lost its purpose somewhat at the second movie, and then it got ridiculous in the third and the fourth and the fifth. I couldn't deal with the Ape series after that. But oh God, I'm embarrassed to live a crap out of mine. I also pissed off my brother because I lost his damn cars. I tried to lead him back over to the area where it was, and I thought I remember where the hell it was, but I think that some of the neighborhood kids stole my brother's cars. I was dumb enough to take them from my brother without him knowing it and burying them because I was a dumbass kid. What the hell was I thinking during the time? I thought it was going to be funny. I thought it was going to be cute. I'm going to be doing something on my brother at this point over here. He. You want to bet? Shit. Oh God, he was pissed at me. Ma was pissed at me. Grandma was like, I don't believe you doing this, Marianne. Mom, we're going home. Marianne, I'm not speaking another word on this one, Mom. We never did go back. I never did see my uncle ever again. I do remember that my uncle and I played a game, and it was still pissing off Ma. My uncle was a survivor of World War II. He was in the Pacific over at Pearl Harbor when the Japanese hit. And in the battle, my uncle lost a leg from the kneecaps down. So all he had was a stump and a wooden leg. I don't know what he did to manage life, but he managed to life. Managed to have kids, wife, home, retired, disabled. But he was still, I think, one of the bravest guys I've seen. Except for my brother. Uh, I'd take my uncle's leg and I'd hide it in his house. He'd have to go around finding the damn thing. Just to satisfy me. Good Lord. That was a hellion. I thought I mean, looking back at the stuff, I was a lot worse than David was. If I caused Ma and Dave that much problems, how the hell did I became the person I am right now these days? I wondered. But, thinking back to the Memorial Day of the veterans who've lost their lives, I remember the ones who actually survived. On a day like this, we're supposed to be memorializing the dead. I do that enough dealing with my own family. Thank you very much, Ma and Dave. As I think I was trying to talk about in another video somewhere. I had an uncle who also raised 2 kids. I loved both of them, uncle and the aunt. Originally, they were living up in San Leandro, moved out to El Cajon, San Leandro, California, right by San Francisco, Oakland area. El Cajon in San Diego County, California. My uncle had a colorful and interesting past, apparently. He went to Korea and survived it. His sons never knew what he had went through. He wasn't about to tell them what the hell was going on because it was that deep, that personal, and hurts like a son of a bitch. My brother would understand because he'd been through it. I suppose the cousins were jealous of my brother because my brother decided to, no, not decided, but I guess had a closer connection to the uncle than they had to their own father. Because they shared something. They shared something a great deal. And that was being in the military. One of my cousins managed to get into the San Diego Police Academy and made a career out of it. I think he's either a lieutenant or a captain now. I don't know if he's retired or not. I hardly ever keep track of this guy. I don't even know what he does anymore. The other one, well, he fancied himself to be a shrink, just like his father. Criminal psychologist, but just someone to help people out. So, in order to do that, he was getting his rock band going on. And they toured a little bit in the States, didn't get much money, but went overseas and cranked it out and got funding enough for my cousin to go through university, get his degrees. He kept the business going on for a while. I don't know if he's retired from it or not. He was also a teacher somehow of the same topics. Shrink. Behavioral therapy. Behavioral therapist, basically. There's Pandora's boxes on this one here. But he did all right with his family. Great deal. I tried to think, and I tried to put this into the personal perspectives about Memorial Day, what it should mean to me, what it would have meant to me if I actually discovered it, if I actually had relatives who died in wars, and I could try memorializing them. And I don't have that. I had uncles who went to war. I had a brother who went to war. And maybe I'm one of the fortunate few that was not able or not fated to serve a country. So I'll serve a country another way. I serve my brother as a caregiver. A few weeks back, they actually had a Brother's Day. They actually had a Brother's Day. To me, every day when my brother was alive was a Brother's Day. And after that, I tend to the dead. I tend to the memories. The guy who's supposed to be writing like crazy, and yet I feel like I've become a spokesperson for the memories of the dead. I don't know how that happened, but it is as it is what it is. And how am I dealing with it right now? Shit. Wish I had. Wish I knew. It does mean something to me because I memorialize a vet who died of strokes in the head, but not of combat. I've been around a vet for a long time in my life. The sun holidays would hit me a hell of a lot harder. This one doesn't. I've had uncles that served and survived. I never had an aunt that I remember going into the service. I hadn't talked to any cousins that went into the service. So honestly, I don't know about the bloodline as much as I think I should. I don't know if any one of them actually made the great big sacrifice on it. It's kind of hard to feel like I should celebrate this thing with food and drink and party and scream and yell and wave the flag around. I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling it. Perhaps when it gets closer to Memorial Day, actually not Memorial Day, when it gets closer to July 4th, I'll put up a flag. I'll put up the flag over here in the cabinet. And I'm hoping that it's the only thing and the only way I can show how much I cared about my family. It's pretty damn tricky getting on top of the couch, especially when I'm unstable as I am, and trying to put a flag up there for people to see. I just didn't want to be showing up like I'm ultra patriotic and a maggot follower. I just wanted to show some kind of appreciation and support for my brother and those that he knew that fell. But as of right now, yesterday, dealing with the anniversary of my brother's natal birthday, I'm surprised all the things I got triggered into, I didn't react. I didn't cry. I figured half the day I was sleeping anyway through it, and I didn't have to worry about it. I shouldn't have to worry about it. I should just let it go, right? I just didn't bother crying on this one. Almost every other day, I'd be crying like crazy because I get triggered by their trigger words. Home, family, means everything to me. Somehow or another, it may have meant something, but it just wasn't doing anything for me. And I'm I'm not struggling with it right now as it is. I'm not. Well, what I am is my brain's trying to tell me go back to bed again. So at this point, boys and girls, that's I can't even see a shit. It's about 2:13 in the morning Pacific Standard Time, and I'm going to have to crawl back in. But I had to talk about something of memories that meant a great deal to me, even though it could have been listed as Thanksgiving. But I did have an uncle that served. That was the only time I actually met him in my lifetime that I can recall. And me being a troublemaker as a kid. Yeah. So how does that handle with me being alive and adult? I mean, am I still that kind of a still have a hellion these days? I'll never tell.